In the shadows of Lefrak City, there are reminders everywhere of the coronavirus pandemic's devastating effects on personal finances over the last year. From rental assistance notices on the front door to this crowd filled with tenants receiving free book bags on the corner here in Elmhurst, Queens. This seemed like the logical place to gauge awareness and concern over the expiring moratorium on evictions and the new likelihood of its extension.
It should be extended for one. We have COVID still in existence. People are not working.
This event sponsored by New York State Senator Jessica Ramos, who was in favor of extending the eviction moratorium. Senator Ramos says it's important any extension address the plight of struggling tenants and their landlords, especially so-called mom and pop building owners who have struggled to pay their bills.
And if we help the tenants pay rent, then landlords will be able to make their mortgage payments as well. And in that case, we all win.
Just as we were interviewing Senator Ramos,
we're not going to abandon our neighbors in need.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul stood in front of news cameras upstate in Albany to convene a special legislative session which, starting Wednesday, will seek to continue the moratorium to possibly the beginning of next year.
We want to expand the safety net for people who qualify for rental and landlord assistance.
In the midst of ongoing protests by tenants and housing advocates, there are also countless complaints about the lack of money flowing from the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Real estate attorney Alta Gracia Pierre Outerbridge, who represents both tenants and landlords, says if the eviction moratorium is ultimately extended, tenants may have a harder time getting a pass on their rent.
Landlords will be able to go to court and challenge tenants on whether or not their non-payment is truly due to COVID or due to other reasons.
If you recall, just last week, a Supreme Court decision struck down a large portion of New York's eviction moratorium. So in advance of what is expected to be a revised version of it, landlords say they are prepared to sue. Joe Strasberg, president of the Rent Stabilization Association, tells Pix 11, quote, "While we are hopeful that she will not allow politics to drive the actions of Albany lawmakers, we reiterate our intention to seek all legal remedies if the legislation is contrary to the SCOTUS decision." We're live in Elmhurst, Queens tonight. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.